to love. Woke up in the rubble to a light from above. I'm chasing fire. I'm chasing fire. And I'm never burning out.
This has seriously gotta be one of the craziest travel stories of all time. Okay, maybe not of all time, but it's freaking crazy, not even just for my own personal travel adventures, but in general, it's nuts. So grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and listen up. This story takes place back in Sydney, Australia on January 5th, 2019. I was flying from Sydney to Tullamarine, which is in Melbourne. It was only an hour-and-a-half flight on Jetstar, which is a budget airline for Australia, leaving at 4 p.m., arriving 5:30 p.m. Easy, short flight, right?
It has been 2.5 hours since we've been sitting on this plane. I'm just flying from Sydney to Melbourne. It's only an hour-and-a-half flight, and I should have landed an hour ago. There is no news. Apparently there's a lightning storm, so we're kind of just sitting here, and they won't actually let us off the plane because of safety reasons, so we're just kind of stuck hanging out.
I think the most frustrating part was that they wouldn't let us off the plane, and we were not far from the gate. Okay, this is our plane here, and this is the gate here. I could definitely see people looking at us on the plane. That's how close we were. Maybe we're not connected, but we're basically, and they said that was too dangerous for them to just go a little bit closer, connect, so we could get off. Instead, they left us sitting on this plane with screaming kids, screaming babies because we can't move. They're not giving us food. Okay, they gave us water. What are we gonna do with water? It's dinner time. People are hungry. You won't let us leave this plane. It's been now 3.5 hours. Our flight was only an hour and a half.
So it has been 4 hours since I was on that flight waiting, and unfortunately they actually canceled the flight, and now the entire airport is chaotic. People are running about trying to get their flights rescheduled. I'm by the airport security and the line wraps way over there.
I didn't exactly know what to do, so I was kind of like walking around like, oh, I don't know, this airport's chaos, everybody's going nuts. Like, there were people literally crying. Some girl behind me missed a wedding. I'm really sorry for her. That's actually really sucks. Anyways, I kind of see a few flight attendants kind of floating around, being antagonized by groups of people, everybody yelling. So of course I go over there, try to ask her, hey, what do I do? Kind of what she told the mass of people was like, don't stand in the line. If you don't want to stand in the line, like, just go call this number. They'll reschedule your flight. You can leave the airport, because if you stand on this line, it's going to take you literally 5 hours. I actually overheard in line the next available flight wasn't for another like 3 days. So I go to get my bag. Don't see my bag. It's been now an hour. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm just gonna start calling from the airport. Phone will not connect. So basically there were so many people calling, this flight attendant gave the number to everybody. Everybody's calling, now the phone just disconnected and won't work. It's just like too much.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock at night. I don't have a place to stay, and I can't get my bags either because it's chaos downstairs, so we'll see what happens.
I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna go stand in the line and start looking up places where to stay, because now I'm homeless. It's totally fine to make bookings for accommodation the day of, but not when it's like 8 o'clock at night. So of course I go look at hostels, first place. No hostels, everything's booked. Then I look at Airbnb, no way. Only thing available are these luxurious hotels that I can't afford. I don't know if this airline's gonna reimburse me. It's a budget airline. So as I'm standing in this line, kind of panicking, because I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to sleep at this airport. I see this girl walking around yelling like, driving to Melbourne, $100, who wants to join? And I don't know what impulsed me to be like, me, but that's what I did. And the thing is, I don't do well in cars. I get car sick. In fact, I hate driving. I don't do road trips because I get sick. So I don't know what impulsed me to be like, yeah, I'll drive to Melbourne. I had no idea how far that was. I mean, my flight was an hour and a half. How bad could it really be? These group of people had decided we're gonna rent a car and drive to Melbourne. So it was me, the girl, and 2 guys. And we walked over to the rental car and went.
So with all the chaos that happened, I happened to meet I told you guys I was gonna talk to the camera.
Everyone's like, what?
I happened to meet a few people while I was waiting in line, this massive line, who were like, hey, we're driving to Melbourne, do you want to come? Or Melbourne. And so yeah, now instead of flying, I am driving with a bunch of random people I have never met, but and I should be in Melbourne in like 8.5 hours. Yeah.
So we left at 11 p.m., not gonna arrive until like 6 a.m. or whatnot.
I was sitting in the car with 4 people I've known for half an hour being road tripping. No, I'm serious, mate. 8 hours. 8 hours. You know, the closest McDonald's is 100 k's away. How fucked up is it?
The actual road, though, was boring as fuck. I don't know if that's just because we did it at night, but there was literally nothing on this road. There was not even places to eat, so I haven't even eaten.
Whoa. 7 hours.
7 hours?
33 minutes.
Okay, well we started at 8.5, didn't we?
Yeah.
We've been driving for an hour and a half. Look at us go. How many kilometers?
700.
7.
Oh.
Who needs to fly when you can drive? Just stopped at McDonald's. We have about 7 hours left to go. I just found out that Alexa here, I sat next to her on the flight. And I had no idea. And then the other 2 people, well, one of them's gone. They also sat next to each other on the flight. So this is a bit bizarre.
I don't know what happened, like, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I mean, I know that I was working on the plane, I was editing a video, and I was really focused, but apparently I just never looked left. That's so shameful.
How do you feel right now? Oh wait, you guys introduce yourself.
Oh no, I won't be in the vlog.
How do you feel, Dawson? You're the driver.
I'm struggling.
You're stoked?
Yeah, struggling.
Struggling. I can't understand Aussie talk. How are you feeling?
So good.
So good.
Feel great. Yeah.
We're getting coffee. We're all half asleep.
Feeling good, yeah.
It's 3:30 in the morning. None of us have slept. But we're all best friends now.
The thing is that we all wanted to be respectful to each other. The fact that we're driving through the night, and especially to the driver, Darcy, we wanted to make sure we all stayed awake, because if you're in pain, we're in pain, like everybody's in pain.
Thank you. You good?
Great.
Cheers.
Let's do this shit.
Let's do this. Let's make it to Melbourne. Melbourne.
I mean, we were just kind of like forced to get to know each other really quickly, and nobody is super excited about this road trip, and everybody's just tired. So you're really getting to know people, but honestly, it was really fun. I spent majority of the car ride just laughing. I don't know if that was just like delirious because I was so tired. As stressful and annoying and frustrating as this was to have flights canceled, like, I think the situation that occurred afterward is just hilarious. It's a great story to tell my kids one day. Like, it's just ridiculous. Such a interesting experience. I'll never forget it. You know, this doesn't happen every day. I hope that doesn't happen every day. Hope that this never really happens again, to be honest, but I'm seeing the bright side of it. It's pretty darn funny and crazy, and one of the craziest things I've ever done. One of the craziest travel stories ever. Eventually, made it to Melbourne, and that was the whole point. I just wanted to get to Melbourne.
Oh, sorry. How are you? Welcome to the crew who's in the car.
You made it.
Okay.
You're alive.
Well, thank
Have
you
a
so
good
much
one.
for
Nice
letting me
meeting
stay
you.
Velvet. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't slept. Okay, after, what time is it? It is like,
7.
okay, it is 7 in the morning. I went to the airport at 2 p.m. yesterday. Haven't gone to sleep, and now I'm with Eddie! If you guys remember her from Guatemala.
Hello, guys.
Some of you have been requesting that she comes back on. Well, I'm visiting her here in Melbourne, and it was a mission to get to her. But I'm so excited, probably gonna go to sleep soon, but yeah.
Yeah, you get a good sleep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It actually took me like 2 days to recover from this trip. I was just so tired. I felt defeated. I didn't want to leave my friend's house. I didn't even want to leave for a cup of coffee. Like, I was like, I just need to stay here. I'm exhausted. That was like too much the other day. I don't even want to explore. So yeah, I didn't really do much for at least the first 2 days. Like I said, it was a good time. I had a blast. Hope you guys enjoyed the story. For those of you who saw this on Instagram, now you have a more in-depth look into what happened. If you guys like my videos, make sure to subscribe. If you like this video, if you like story time, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you'd like to hear me just tell stories, because I'll definitely do more of this. And I will see you next time with videos about Melbourne. Okay, bye.